Welcome back to another Chatting with Wisdom. And so I'm Geegado, Megwan, which means Talking Feather Woman, and I'm also known as Rollie, Allaire, Holistic Life and Wellness Coach. And so I am excited that we are moving along quite well with our gratitude challenge. And so we are on day 19 of our gratitude challenge. And so this started on April 1st on my birthday. And so, for those of you who have not yet signed up and would like to sign up, if you sign up at any point, then you can start now and then you can come back later and connect with the other prompts from the other days and be able to continue on at the end of April. So, April 30th will be our last daily prompt, and then you'll actually be able to come back to April 1st and then just kind of keep going from there because it really is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 and so on and so forth. And one of the things that I like doing at different times of the year, especially when things are get kind of overwhelming and whatever it is that's going on, I like to come back to gratitude. So being able to have access to the daily prompts is also really helpful. So you have lifetime access to these prompts and no strings attached. You just have to log in to your portal and be able to come back and grab them from there. So I welcome you back to day 19, and I love that we have conversations that people are sharing about what it is that they are doing and not doing, or what has come up for them or not come up for them during this gratitude challenge. So I'm really excited that to be able to hear some of the conversations and having that feedback. And so every time that I do the journal prompts, I also talk about what it is that's coming up for me and what it is that's going on during these times. And so we are, and one of the things that how we started off this gratitude challenge was that we had just had a snowstorm on my birthday. And so we went from like, it was like kind of normalish spring weather to like snowstorm on the next day. So like within 24-hour period, we had like lots of snow on the ground. And so it has just kind of come and gone. Last week, I actually did one of my calls, one of my lives, were actually on my deck where it was like still super hot and sunny. We were talking about getting the air conditioners out because it was just so hot. And then the very next day, so then on Monday, we ended up in this like super cold weather. And that leads us into what our daily prompt is today, is because it's actually talking about the seasons and the seasons of the year. And so one of the things that an elder had taught me was, in terms of one of the teachings, was it was about the seasons and actually being able to go through. So we have these seasons that go through. Mother Nature has these seasons that she goes through, but we have them as well, and it's going through the different cycles. And so no matter what it is that we are doing or going on in our life, we always need to go around all 4 seasons. We need it to go through whatever it is. So like if we are experiencing grief, for example, we want to go through all 4 seasons. So it's that, because it's all those many firsts, right? So like they actually talk about that as like every one of those firsts are different. And so it goes with the seasons of whatever it is that's going on. And so that's one of the things that that I wanted to be able to like point out, is that piece. And so I talked about grief, but it also has to do with birth. It also has to do with like that first year of a baby's life is like super important. Of like, not that any of the other years are not important, but that first year of like all their firsts and all the things that they're doing, their first step and their first word and their first and their first and their first, right? So like it's all these things about like these cycles that are actually going on. And so when we are experiencing something, that we are starting a new job, for example, we go through a season of like learning and developing and figuring out what's going on, and then we get a little bit more knowledgeable as to what it is that we're doing. And then by the time that we actually get through to that year, we are probably an expert in our area, or in or coming to be an expert, depending on what it is that we are expanding or doing. And so it allows us to be able to get through that information and whatever it is that we have going on. So so the seasons are really important, and it's just really important for us to be able to look at it from that aspect, as well as the physical seasons. So our physical seasons come to us for different reasons. And again, depending on where you are, what it is that's going on. So my Australian friends are in fall right now. And so like it's just all these different things. So like we've got these flip sides of the seasons, and whatever it is that's going on in terms of like how um, the weather is happening. And so, but again, depending on where you live, we get snow. We get snow that blankets um, our area, and that is definitely what it is that we need. We need that frost to be able to come up. And so my daughter-in-law had said to me the other day, it's like, oh, those flowers are actually coming up. And it's like, but they grow underneath the snow, right? So like when the snow comes out, then I mean when the snow starts to dissipate, then these flowers are already up and ready to bloom. And I know that we're not the only one that has that kind of area, but depending on where it is that you are, different things bloom at different times, and different things happen at different times. And it all is part of that process of all the things that are coming on. And so for in our area, they always talk about dandelions. So when spring comes and when it becomes really warm, and it's like when the dandelions come out, they actually suggest that you do not cut the dandelions down, because that's the first flower that the bumblebees get to actually come and nectar on, to be able to like create what it is that they need to do, and for them to be able to blossom and do all that stuff. And so it's just really important for us to be able to do that. So as much as those of us who are in this area hate the black flies and the mosquitoes, they also serve a purpose, right? So they serve a purpose to feed the birds and whatever else that is going on, the bigger insects eat them as well, and like all those kinds of things, because it keeps that circle of life going. And so just really important for us to be able to take a look at what it is that's going on. But so from a nature's perspective, the daily prompt for today is, what is your favorite season, why, and what is one thing that you like about the other seasons? And so my favorite is spring. And my why is because that's always the renewal. That's always when things happen. It's also my birthday season, but it's like that renewal and that sense of newness. And like I love that new beginning and starting over. And one of the things that I love about the new moon is that same thing. Like it's all that sense of renewal and starting again and having something going. And so I love it when the buds are starting to come, and I love being able to see the flowers starting to come into bloom. And so yeah, it can be a little bit muddy sometimes, and but I love that newness, and I love that connection. Having to clean up all the dead leaves that you didn't get done before the first snowfall came, like that's not fun, that's not pleasant. If you have an animal and you have like if you have a dog and you didn't clean up the dog poop during the time, like that's not pleasant. So when you're walking out, going out for a walk and you're smelling the smell of poop, like that's not the nicest smell in terms of that. But it's like there's some give and take and some things that come with each one of the seasons. But I love the newness. I love being able to have that. I get really excited when I actually get to see the buds on the trees blossoming. And somebody actually showed me, took a picture sometime this week where they can actually see like the little buds are starting to come on some of the trees and some of the plants. And so, and like I said, my daughter-in-law pointing out the plants coming up. And so now we go into so the second part of the prompt is like, what is one thing that you like about each of the other seasons? So I love fall because I love the colors. So we live in an area that the leaves change colors, and then the leaves fall off the trees. And so like I love that part of fall. I love being able to have, it's got like the crisp air and that kind of thing. And our fall weather doesn't last as long as probably it would down south. But it's still like that beauty of what it is that's going on. And like you can see that change and that shift, and like the colors are beautiful. And going out in nature during that time is definitely a beautiful sight. And so then the other season is summer. So I did fall and spring, and then summer. So summer is, I love the heat. Not when I'm trying to sleep, mind you, especially since being menopausal, sleep and heat are not the same. And then, but I love the heat. I love the sunshine. I love the being able to like sit outside and do things, and having barbecues and all those kinds of things. And winter, on the other hand, I really struggle with trying to find something positive about winter. So, but I do love like when we have like the icy kind of weather, and how it turns the trees into like these beautiful glossy things. So like that would be about the only thing about winter that I love, because I don't really care much for winter at all. So that would be it, in terms of what I feel. So anyway, share with me what it is that you feel. Tell me what is your favorite season, why, and something that you love about all of them. So you now love to walk in the winter. No, I still don't love to walk in the winter. I did walk in the winter. So I don't love to walk in the winter. But I did this year. I actually walked in the winter. And so, because I wasn't allowed to walk in the summer because I broke my leg, but yeah, so definitely, but I did walk this winter, and we actually had some really nice mild days, which was really nice. So I was very fortunate that way. There wasn't very many where I had to say, okay, you have to come in because like my face is frozen. I think we only did that a couple of times where that she had to turn around and come back. So yes, I did walk this winter. And thanks for being proud of me. So anyway, I will chat with all of you guys later, and I will talk soon. I will get this up into the podcast site as well. And so again, anybody who wants to sign up for the challenge, then wherever it is that you are listening to this or watching this, then there's a link for you to be able to join the challenge, which will give you the other prompts as well. And yeah, so I will chat with all of you guys later. Bye for now.